Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and check in everyone that you can. Just shoot out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. The Boston Celtics lost a tough one in OKC last night to the Thunder, 105-92, and I wanted to break down what happened, so let's get into the film. Alright, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come in the house. And of course, again, the Celtics lose this game 105-92, and I wasn't able to watch the third and the fourth quarter live, and it just seemed like a tale of two halves because I did watch the first half and the Celtics went into halftime up 10. But rewatching this game, it was really just a tale of the fourth quarter because even though things did start to turn at the end of that third quarter and OKC played great, Celtics only scored 15 points. The Celtics only lost that quarter by 6, and they were still up 3 or 4 points going into the fourth quarter. But that fourth quarter, Celtics scored 12 points. OKC hit a bunch of threes. They just forced so many things in that fourth quarter and in the second half in general. But here on the first play, we got some ram action by the Celtics. The Celtics, their first play call of the game, you can usually tell a lot about their intentions. And here going with ram action on the first play, you know that they're going to try to hunt these mismatches, which they did in this game. So, of course, with ram action, you got the off-ball screen for somebody to come set a ball screen. So Porzingis is going to set this off-ball screen on Lou Dort. Tatum's going to come out and he's going to set this ball screen on Casey Wallace. Now, a lot has been said following this game about Jason Tatum's usage rate and the fact that he only shot 17 shots in this game. I totally agree he has to shoot more shots, but I feel like his shot distribution wasn't bad in this game. There was just one quarter that derailed that. So I believe in the fourth quarter he shot 6 shots. It was either 5 or 6. In the third quarter he shot 5 shots. In the second quarter he only shot 1 shot. He had a 12% usage rate. That quarter the Celtics extended that lead. They got up to 10 points going into halftime. And that was a quarter where Jaylen Brown was hot. And it was not a problem because the Celtics were up and they were extending that lead. Tatum was still effective, but he only shot 1 shot. I do understand that he doesn't want to disrupt the flow of the offense, especially if it's going good. But the Celtics can still have a free-flowing offense and he can shoot more than 1 shot. So I will say that. But in this play right here, he gets the mismatch on Kaysen. They don't get it to him, but this was just a play that I was like, okay, I could talk about the usage rate here because they didn't give him the ball when he had the mismatch. But it's a two-way street. He 100% needs to shoot more than 17 shots, but things happen. And of course, on the other side, going against an MVP candidate, MVP caliber player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he reeled off about 9 points in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game, and this can't happen, right? The reason that you have Kristaps Porzingis on Case and you have Jrue Holiday on Isaiah Hartenstein is so you can have certain guys help at certain times, right? If you're the starting five for the Celtics, right, you put KP on Kaysen, right? That probably means that you want him or you want to allow him to shoot outside shots. SGA cannot just drive to the basket without help. Somebody has to be here. Now, Jaylen Brown has to do a better job of containing the drive, right? But you have to understand that that's Shai. He's going to get his even against good or great defenders. Somebody has to be here. You can't just let him drive all the way to the basket. And here we got some good action by the Celtics taking advantage of the switches. We got a step-up screen here by KP on Casey Wallace. Gets Derek White going downhill, forces the Oklahoma City Thunder defense to switch. So now he has Casey Wallace on him. But here we still run the angle pick and roll with JB. And if you do not switch up and into space on Derek White, if it's a handoff with Jrue Holiday, we've seen that live. If it's a handoff or it's a pick and roll, if you don't switch up into space. So if J-Dub is here, he can't switch laterally. He can't just slide his feet. He needs to come up, take this shot away from Derek White. If you don't do that, he's going to drain this shot more often than not. And also in this game, there were some instances where the Celtics made things harder than they need to be. Of course, in the second half and especially in the fourth quarter, the Thunder did things to make the Celtics be bad. Like I'm not saying that, but two things can be true at the same time. The Celtics could have simplified what they were doing and they could have got easier looks. Again, the Celtics, like all of this was not on the Thunder. The Celtics shot 3 for 21 on wide open shots. Probably not going to happen again. But the Thunder did do some things to make us, a little bit rattled, and that might affect some open shots when you finally get them. But on this play, this is just simple things that we could avoid. Here we got a low angle pick and roll where KB gets to switch on Case, throw the ball, give him the ball. They don't throw it to him right here, okay? They get it right back to him. He reverses side, goes back to the paint, and then Jrue just throws out of bounds. Okay, something I really like. in the back half of this first quarter. Shea had 9 points in 4 minutes, right? He was reeling off. He got to line a time, got an and one, was just driving, doing whatever he wanted, right? Kicking out, doing everything, right? They're up 4 now. What the Celtics do, they start denying Shea. On this play, you got Jaylen Brown. Again, we've seen this from Jaylen Brown in the finals, denying Luka, not letting him get the ball on certain possessions. He does that here to Shea. Now, J-Dub just chicken wraps Drew Holiday, but this was something to see, and it was something that worked later on in this quarter. And here we go again. We had Jaylen Brown at the free throw line. He hits it, and he gets right up into Shea. Shea gets past him, but Drew hard help on Lu Dort. Now this is what we want. Lu Dort, feet behind the three-point line, taking this shot. This type of defense and the denying defense, Shea did not score for the last 8 minutes of the first quarter. This is what we want. We want Lu Dort taking these shots. Now, I know that's famous last words, but in the first half when I was watching this game, I don't think Lu Dort scored a basket until the third quarter. So in the first half, this was working beautifully. They got Shea off the ball for a little bit, and they had him go scoreless for some time. And I just love the Celtics baseline out of bounds plays and the sideline out of bounds plays. And most times it's just they run some stagger action for either Pritchard or Jaylen Brown or Tatum. Let's say that the ball is here on the sidelines out of bounds play. They're going to set this up just right here. This will either be Brown or Pritchard. He'll come off right here and try to receive a pass. This, with the baseline out of bounds play, they just run it really low on the block. So we got 2 stagger screens here. We got one by Drew Holiday, one by Al Horford, one right there, then one right there. Jaylen Brown is gonna come over here to the corner and get an easy look. Well, not an easy look, but he got a good look at a 3 ball right here over Casey Wallace. He's too short to contest that shot most times, and Brown drains it. And then again, denying Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. This worked for 8 minutes, and he even gives the ball away. Did he? So there was no pressure on him, but he just gave the ball up to Lu Dort. And watch as he is not allowed to get this ball back. Jaylen Brown denying Shea at the top right here. Denying Shea, he's not touching the ball. Making Lu Dort take step back mid-ranges is a win. All right, so we got some more good simple basketball by the Boston Celtics. We got another low angle pick and roll. Drew Holiday stonewalls Lu Dort right there. Bam, they swing it, reverse around. They finally see him under the rim for the layup. And the one thing that you can say about this Oklahoma City team, like they're the best team in the West at this point. They force a lot of turnovers. But the one thing that you can look to take advantage of is that they don't have great positional size across the board. You look at a team like the Boston Celtics. Their starting lineup does not feature a player under 6'4", right? Drew 6'4", Derek 6'5", Jalen 6'6", Tatum 6'8", 6'9", and KP's 7'2", 7'3". Shea at the point guard position is 6'6", great positional size. But other than that, they have guys that if we do the mismatch hunt thing and we post up guys, those centers don't really matter because we're mismatch hunting. So they're going to be off them. So if you get like an Isaiah Joe in the post trying to stop a Kristaps Porzingis, you get a Casey Wallace in the post trying to stop Kristaps Porzingis, you get a Lu Dort on the post trying to stop Kristaps Porzingis. Now these are all guys that fight. Casey Wallace and Lu Dort are great defenders. It's not going to be easy, but if you get the ball in a position like on a block where KP does not have to dribble the ball and he can just shoot over them, it's going to be great. And here we see an example of the Celtics just taking advantage of their size and strength. Here we got Drew against Isaiah Joe. He stops him right over the three-point line, and Drew just bodies him, takes him down, sees Jaylen Brown cutting. He uses his size on SGA and gets an and one. I want to see this play more because a lot of my time watching the Boston Celtics, especially over these last few years, is how do we maximize Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? What I want to do, especially with Jaylen Brown, is limit the amount of dribbles he has to take. This is going to sound crazy now that I'm saying it's because of the fourth quarter that he had and the second half they had with the turnovers and the loose handle. I promise it's not because I think he can't dribble. It's just that I think Jaylen Brown is best suited as a play finisher. So if you run plays for Jaylen Brown where he can get the ball in positions where he doesn't have to take 1,000 dribbles to get a shot off, that just makes him more efficient. This setup is usually with some ram action, so you'll have Cornette set this screen and Jaylen Brown come screen, or just anybody, right? But this time, it's just a simple pin down. It's a low pin down, like Jaylen Brown starts on this block, and Cornette's gonna set this pin down, and Jaylen Brown's gonna come out to the free throw line. This is what I want. You have your 6'6", uberly athletic wing. You do this with Tatum also is the same thing. You get it to them on a free throw line where they only have to take 1 or 2 dribbles maximum to get in scoring position. That's what I want to see. So here, Jaylen Brown right there at the free throw line, takes a couple dribbles, gets right to the rim. All right, so this was an area for concern while I was watching the game. So I'm not just saying this because, like, I'm not just trying to nitpick this because they lost in the end. I was saying this when it was happening. The Celtics in the start of the second quarter, the offense was rolling. They started 7-for-7, this big lineup with KP and Cornette with no SGA on the court for the Thunder. They were doing really good, but I feel like they should have been up more. And the reason they weren't up more is because they just gave up 3 wide open threes. Coming off of Aaron Wiggins, he lifted up from the corner on KP. Then we had one where Jaylen Brown just leaves Isaiah Joe. He gambles, leaves a great shooter open. And then I think Aaron Wiggins hits another one, right? And on a lot of these possessions, KP is on Aaron Wiggins. I would rather him be on Kenrich if he's the guy that's helping, and Kenrich is the guy that we are letting shoot the ball, not Aaron Wiggins. That's just me. But here, like, this double big lineup was cooking the Thunder at the beginning of this second quarter because is the only big. Again, the Thunder don't have great positional size, so if you have 2 7-footers on the court, somebody automatically has a mismatch. Right here, this is the Thunder. They went zone a little bit. You got Ahart backing up. Jaylen Brown draws Ahart up. So now that means both of the 7-footers don't have a center on them. So pass ball into the paint to Luke Cornette. He gets great positioning, goes up for the layup. And this is an example of Tatum not even touching the basketball, but still being an effective offensive player. So here, they try to get the mismatch with Shea on JT. They get the switch, and watch Aaron Wiggins. All he's focused on at this moment is he's anticipating this pass going to Jason Tatum, and he's going to help Shea. So that's all. He's still looking at him. So this causes him to have a late closeout on Derek White. Since he's late, he feels he has to do a reckless closeout and jump. Derek White lets him fly by, and he gets a layup. Perfect game plan discipline here by the Boston Celtics. Got a pick and roll between Lu Dort and SGA. SGA is a handler. Lu Dort sets a screen. Nobody worries about Lu Dort. Lu Dort was 0 for 6 in the first half. Again, famous last words because he buried us in the fourth quarter. You gotta live with this, man. Like, I don't know what to say. You gotta live with this. He is a guy that you want shooting the ball. Now, again, I would rather us do this to Kenrich. It worked in the first half. It didn't work in the second half. That's fine. If you say, hey, in-game adjustments, that's fine. But Lou hit them. He had 1 in the third quarter, and he had 2 real late in the fourth quarter. Like 1 minute left in the fourth quarter, he had about 3 of them. Not too many adjustments you can do with 1 minute left in the fourth, but it is what it is. So we forced that miss on the good game plan discipline. Then you got Jaylen Brown posting up Shea right here. He tries to play over top of it. Jaylen Brown sips to the basket. And the Celtics did a really good job overall closing this second quarter, even though they gave up like an offensive rebound in 3 with like 30 seconds left. But overall, their hustle and their energy really ended the second quarter well. They got up to a 10-point lead at halftime again. Jaylen Brown with the block there. They forced a miss. Right, well, Shea just misses a 3 right here, but then they get the alley-oop from Jason Tatum to Kristaps Porzingis. All right, here we got another get the switch pick and roll. Obviously, this is for Tatum to get a switch on Isaiah Joe, but the Thunder, again, don't switch up and into space. Jalen Williams, again, does not switch. Guessing that he doesn't want to switch Isaiah Joe onto Tatum, which I understand. But Derek White has the basketball. You have to switch up and into space. They don't do that. So Derek White step backs for the 3. We still have that mismatch. Even though he shot the ball, Tatum didn't get the shot on this possession. We still have that mismatch, which means now Isaiah Joe has to rebound over Jason Tatum. Tatum just moves him out the way and gets a putback dunk. I know we just skipped a whole chunk of the third quarter, but this to me is the sequence that started everything. There was a play before this when the other Jalen Williams, the one from Arkansas, he came in and he hit a 3. That was going to be the sequence because that got the crowd involved, but then he threw a turnover to Tatum and it kind of quieted him down. But this right here is the sequence. So the Thunder run the Spain action, right? Yeah, Isaiah Joe coming out. The Celtics get confused. How are you getting confused on this when you run this the most? Sam Hauser and Pritchard have some miscommunication. Cornette and Al Horford to collapse off the corners to Aaron Wiggins. Of course, this is what we want, but Lu Dort finally hits his first 3 of this game. Then we go down on the other side. JTM gets the ball, and he's going to have a pick and roll. Great screening angle by Sam Hauser so we can get the switch with Isaiah Joe on Jason Tatum. Lu Dort does not allow that. Sam Hauser is all the way at the hash mark, which makes this tougher to get a shot. They run Payne Pritchard off the 3-point line, and good defense there by Shea, and they get a foul. And then on the very next possession, the Celtics allow the Thunder to get 3 offensive rebounds. The Celtics were playing good defense. The Thunder were driving and kicking, forcing rotations. The Celtics were rotating well. But in a lineup with Al Horford and Luke Cornett and no Isaiah Hartenstein on the court for the Thunder, they allowed them to out-hustle them. After Lou Dort hit his first three, they allowed them to get 3 offensive rebounds and then a layup by Shea. Then directly following this, they get a steal and a layup. Then it's a 1-point game. Crowd is rocking. All right, so I feel like this play really set the tone for the OKC defense in this fourth quarter. So the first play, we got a pin down screen for Jaylen Brown. He's gonna come out here to the free throw line, and then we're gonna have Derek White come over here. He's gonna set this pin down here for Kristaps Porzingis so he can curl over here and just have our 7-3 guy on the move going to the rim. Should be a good play for us. So there we got the screen by Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics are looking for the defense to, like, focus on Jaylen Brown and for them to get a tick of separation on this screen right here. But the Thunder were just running through screens this whole fourth quarter, bumping our guys, just playing really physical. Kristaps Porzingis gets to a position on the floor where he likes, against a favorable matchup, but I heart great time to help right there. Kristaps spins right into him for the block. And this is where the game flipped on its head. Now, of course, the Thunder are the team that forced a lot of turnovers, but it's the point star turnovers. Both teams had 16 turnovers in this game. In the first half, the Celtics had 8 points off OKC turnovers, and they had 3 fast break points. In the first half, Oklahoma City had 5 points off turnovers and 0 fast break points. In the second half, the Celtics had only 3 points off turnovers, no fast break points. OKC in the second half had 17 points off turnovers and 13 fast break points in a 13-point win. Pace was a huge part of this game when the Celtics limited live ball turnovers. All turnovers aren't created the same. Each team had 16 turnovers, but one team had 22 points off of those turnovers. That probably means that there were a lot more live ball turnovers. And then they also had 13 fast break points. Of course, can be a part of those points off turnovers. Here, I don't think there's much the Celtics can do about this point off the turnover. But again, there were just a lot more live ball turnovers in the second half, and that plays right into OKC's hand. This young team, this fast team, and Aaron Wiggins just pulls up from the hash mark. And again, the physicality by OKC. Look how Kenrich is playing this screen. Really not trying to let Jaylen Brown get through. And that's the type of defense you got to play against the Celtics, man. If you want to beat this team, you got to play that tough defense. And this is the same exact play where you have Horford setting this pin down for Jaylen Brown to get the ball right here at the free throw line. Then Derek White was going to go over there and set this and then set that screen for Kristaps so he can curl off it, right? But on the first play, the Celtics got the ball right here. Kenrich pushes this out just a little bit. Then you see Derek White is going to try to go set that screen. He doesn't get a chance to set it. And Jaylen Brown not being aware of the entire basketball court this fourth quarter, the loose handle, the turnovers, him just, having some tunnel vision was not good for the team. And he turns his back on an entire side of the defense. Great time to help right there by Aaron Wiggins. They almost get a turnover, but that right there with 4 seconds left before you even cross half court trying to get the ball back is not a recipe for success. All right, so this time we got Al Horford setting a wide pin down for Jaylen Brown to come out and receive the ball. And again, Jaylen Brown just being loose with his handle. Great defense there by Kenrich Williams. Really physical defense. Jaylen Brown loses the ball again. Oklahoma City Thunder, they steal it, and they get a fast break bucket. So I talked about the physicality in the second half from the Thunder defense a lot, right? And this was a perfect example of them being physical, the Celtics noting that physicality, and it benefiting the Thunder in future plays. So here we got Tatum's about to set the screen. Tatum's about to set the screen for Kristaps Porzingis on Lou Dort, and Lou Dort just checks him. He dead ass just checks him. So they called a foul on this play. Hold on. I gotta get my flashlight out for this. Hold up. I need everybody to just look. Please look at what Lou Dort just did. Okay, did everybody see that? I know the flashlight was kind of off. Can you see what Lou Dort just did to Kristaps? What are you holding your hand? What do you mean? What are you doing, Lou? Lou, you just chin checked a 7'3" Latvian, and then you come and you turn around and you got your hands out. Like, huh? No, you fouled him, bro. So then the very next play after they call that foul, they run the same exact thing. Lou Dort, he actually gets screened this time. They switch it. Kristaps is expecting the same physicality that he got from Lou Dort, from J-Dub, right? So when this screen sets and Chris Adams was trying to get positioning, he just showed us J-Dub and we get an offensive foul. And this is just MVP shit by Shea, man. Listen, the last time we was in OKC, they beat us, but Tatum guarded Shea in the fourth quarter. Jaylen Brown did a nice job denying Shea on a couple of plays I showed you guys in the first half. Tatum also took a nice job of doing that on a future play that I'll show. But Drew, the shiftier guards are harder for Drew to check, especially in this stage of his career. Right here, going 1-on-1 on Drew, the step back three. And again, another MVP type play by Shea. Tatum has to dunk this ball or go up stronger. He went up with a finger roll, not expecting Shea to go up and block that shit. It's the fourth quarter. This the Thunder. They 30-5. This is team not gonna let you get anything free. You gotta go up stronger than that, bro. And then Shea blocks the shot. Then he gets the ball back. I heart a poster alley-oop. And just look at the physicality of this deep. Okay. He is just grab my man and his jersey. Grab a hold of jersey, grab my man he gotta sling his arm from out of there. But no, man. Tatum might have flopped a little bit, but he did push him, cause like besides that, right? They might have got away with some ticky-tack stuff, but like just overall the defense, like they impacted the Celtics off ball. So yeah, we did miss a lot of open shots, and I don't expect us to miss that many wide open shots and for us to shoot 19% from three. But the Thunder did pick up their intensity. They did pick up their pickup points. They did pick up their defense overall, and it impacted us on the shots that were not wide open. It did impact us. So good job by OKC, and physicality was noted. And this was just such a demoralizing sequence. This is what buried us, right? So you can see at the bottom right, it says 18-8 in the fourth quarter. The Thunder have outscored us. Of course, Celtics only scored 12 points in this quarter. OKC dominated us, right? But the Celtics are technically, they are still in this game. They've only scored 8 points. They're only down 6 with 3 minutes left. This sequence was just heartbreaking, man. So you got Jaylen Brown doing a nice job of denying Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, right? He's just denying him. Shea's trying to push him off. JB just doing a nice job keeping his hand. Tatum does the same exact thing. Doing a nice job keeping his hand off him, not getting the foul. We force somebody else to shoot. Kaysen shoots, he misses, we don't get the rebound, they get the ball back. Cool. So they're giving OKC the ball back, and then we end up, they got it right back to Shea, sent to the Shea right there. They force a pass Isaiah Hartenstein. It goes out of bounds. Turns out that Drew tipped the ball, so they're giving the ball right back to OKC. We're going. We got Jaylen Brown on Shea right there. We got Jason Tatum switched on to Shea. They're denying the ball. Shea does not touch the ball in this possession. Good defense. J-Dub loses the ball. It falls right to Lou Dort. 3 seconds on the clock. Fly by 3 by Lou Dort. Okay, just that hurt. Then is this the Jaylen Brown? Okay, then Jaylen Brown just I don't know. He just drives the ball, loses it, and then 2 Lou Dort threes puts us in the ground. But that is a video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just shoot out there a little bit more. I will see you guys in the next video. This is Nick. Peace.